89th Texas Legislative session begins tomorrow, and it will kick off with a vote in the House that could change the course of the 140-day session.
ABC 13's Tom Abrams live in Austin tonight. And Tom, the vote we're talking about involves a change in leadership.
That's right. The House Speaker vote is usually a foregone conclusion on day one of a legislative session. Not this time. That's because even though Dade Phelan, the former House Speaker, survived a bruising campaign and won re-election for his House seat out of Beaumont, he decided not to seek re-election as the House Speaker. The Republicans are divided over this. There's David Cook, who won the support of the Republican caucus, but then there's Dustin Burrows, who says he has a bipartisan coalition and he thinks he can win the seat. There's also a Democrat in the mix who likely won't win since there is a strong Republican majority, but it will likely take more than one vote to get a new speaker, and whoever that speaker is, it's important.
All right, well, Tom, we know that Speaker's job comes with some serious control.
It really does. The Speaker essentially controls all the legislation that goes through the House. So even though Dan Patrick, the Lieutenant Governor, controls all the legislation in the Senate, no matter what he does in a strongly controlled Republican Senate, the House has to agree with whatever the Senate passes. And so whether or not major legislative initiatives that are important to both Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick and to Governor Greg Abbott get through the House, a lot of that could depend on who the Speaker turns out to be.
And Tom, there was some big news today ahead of the sessions regarding the state's budget.
That's right. You may remember 2 years ago, Gina, there was a huge surplus, a record surplus, close to $40 billion. This time there is a surplus, some $23 billion. It's not as large as last time, but still it gives legislators a lot of leeway so that some of these priorities like property tax cuts and education funding may get the attention they need, because they'll have more than $194 billion in total, including that surplus, to work with as they craft a budget for the next 2 years.
All right, Tom, sounds like the 89th legislative session should be a fun one either way. Thank you for the breakdown there.